Hey, so definitely been a while. Uh, Weird. I know. Not a game today. Uh, Figured I'd switch things up for the first time and stream a tablet repair. It's my awful setup for it. As you can see, I got my webcam right here, tilted down on my monitor, which I'm also using as a backlight because my lighting in my room is awful. But I'm gonna try to get it to work anyway. So, yeah, coworker's son's tablet. Screen is, can't really see it. Oh, if I reflect it against the light, you can see a little crack through the, what I believe is the digitizer. But if you try to turn it on, let me just show you here real quick. Yeah, you saw the battery's dead, but you saw what the problem is here. So basically, we have the tablet itself and the replacement frame and screen that I got off of Amazon. Comes with a bunch of bullshit tools. They're great for if you don't have the tools already, but I do, so right into the trash these go. Landfill. More adhesive strips. Always could use those. Alcohol pads. I'm assuming to put on the non-existent screen protector. That's, oh, there goes that autofocus. How I was talking. Let me just focus in on that. Yep, and then come back out. There we go. So I think this is to put a screen protector on, but there's no screen protector in here. It's just the screen and the frame. Oh wait, hold on, I forgot something. And a suction cup. So, shit tablet, new screen. We're gonna bring it back. So, I ordered a whole... I'm gonna have to get used to my camera being this way. I bought a whole screen... Oh! Hi. Full screen assembly with the frame already attached. So all I have to do is essentially just transplant components into this. And it'll be good. Throw the bubble wrap out. Just for now, I'm gonna set this up here. Not really needed yet. Get these out of the way. Fuck those. So, I'm gonna use this mangled up, looks like a guitar pick, but it's an opening tool. You know, now that I think about it, that package that I just threw into the trash because, you know, I was bragging how I already had the tools, had a fresh one of these. I found it. I found it. A pair of metal tweezers that comes like, look at how much shit you get. What value? All of these out. Now we got extra tweezers. But now I have a nice fresh guitar pick. So we're gonna start by taking out the SIM card tray. That needs to be out for every repair, apparently. Put that off to the side, right in the iFixit lid. This autofocus is gonna be the death of me, fellas. Look at me, there I am again. But you're gonna take the little guitar pick here, and you're gonna slide it in between the frame and the back housing of the unit, and it'll start to pop and you'll hear it click off. God, this autofocus, I'm sorry guys, I need a better camera. This Walmart shit ain't cutting it anymore. There we go. I bet you it's the reflection from the screen. It's not playing nice with it. But basically you're gonna slide the pick along the edge of the tablet, all the way around. And the screen is going to start to, as you can see there, separate from the body, or the backing. Corners sort of suck on these. I've never liked them. And I am far from a professional. I do this as, I'd borderline say, a hobby. But it's a nice trick to know if my shit ever breaks. And I can help other people with it. So now that we got pretty much the entire thing separated here, just a little bit more on this corner, there we go. Yep, there it is. Oh wow, look at that. The battery is already loose on this one. That's not supposed to be like that. That's supposed to be stuck to the inside of this. Gonna set the backing here off to the side. So, flipping it around. Samsung. First thing I'm gonna do here, now that this is open, is I am going to take off these little black screws that are all around this tablet and remove this little cover here so I can disconnect the battery, because disconnecting the battery is very important. I have my little electronic screwdriver, if I can remember which way to spin it. So that there's a black screw missing from this, which is a little alarming, but really not that important. Moving on. Taking out this screw. I'm actually going to take the tweezers and the adhesive that I have out of here, set them off to the side so I can start setting everything as sort of a general layout on the way down. Here, I'll shift everything over, get that in view. Right there. Don't break it. I'm gonna stab this battery with the screwdriver live on Twitch. You saw it here. So. Little black screws that I can just barely see that they're screws, let alone handle them. Oh, my electric screwdriver is dying, folks. Might have to switch to the old iFixit. Wish I could get that fat sponsor. That would be crazy. So now that all of those screws are out, they're set right here, even though you can barely see them in the camera. Gonna lift up on this little cover here if I can get my fat fingers underneath it. There we go. Alright, so you just pop the clips. This lifts up. You have your speaker assembly and your cable covers. Set this off to the side right there with everything else. First thing I want to do, unplug that battery. See you later. Out of here. Take that. Look, it's like a dead fish. Just, oh, what is that? Huh. That's not what it's supposed to be. See, on the new one, you have these nice adhesive strips. It sticks to it, and when you go to take it out again, if it's not too old, they like to break if they're too old, but you take this tab and you pull it, and it'll slowly release from under the battery, releasing it so you don't have to dig at the battery with a credit card or something else like that. Never a good time. Hate it. But, so, I'm gonna disconnect these ribbon cables as well. They are out of here, no longer useful. Goodbye. We got a messed up little foam pad here. Not really important, but I'll still try to make the best of it. But we have the main logic board here. You got your processor, your RAM under all of this heat shielding and on the reverse side of the board. This is also held in by, you guessed it, little screws, these little silver ones right here. So I'm going to take those out next, and I'm going to set them right below the first cover. Yeah, this screwdriver is really starting to scream at me right now. But it's got that icky micro USB. Get with the times. More so, I need to get with the times. I bought this like 7 years ago. Micro USB was still sort of in then. So, now that we have all of those tiny little silver screws removed, we're going to gently... well, the camera's loose already, which is good, which means it's not going to tear if I lift it. And the front-facing camera, which is just inlaid right here, should pull out with the board. But now that all the screws are out, you want to gently pry up on the board like that. And look at that. There you go. No effort. Board pops out, nice and clean. Camera's intact. Put that off to the side. Now, there's two parts of this that suck. I've done these tablets before. There's a little circuit board up here. I'm going to try to bring it up to the camera. There's a little circuit board right there that is glued into the frame, but that needs to come out because that's your proximity sensor. So what I normally have to do is pour some rubbing alcohol in there, let it sit for a little while, marinate, and then I'm able to pop that board out. And then there's also this little flex ribbon cable type for your volume buttons and your power buttons that are also glued to the tablet. Those are a little more forgiving though. Those you can normally take a little flat head and just sort of screech it right under and it'll pop. But I'm glad we're getting into this because this is not the proper way to hold down a battery. This was actually not good. But what can you do? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this little wee flathead here. See, nice little tiny flathead, and I'm going to gently pop up that ribbon cable I was talking about earlier. Not proper practice, I know. Should be using a plastic spudger, but if you're real gentle with it and you got a steady hand, you can get it to pop up just like so, no tears. You just have to be real still. Careful, if you got to sneeze or something, put the bit down because metal will tear easy. There we go. Up now. Gently push that up. And now we're going to get the main assembly here by just sort of dragging the bit underneath it. I know. Oh, wow, look at that. Whole thing just popped off. Excellent. Sometimes it's easy. Put it down. Moving forward, we're going to get to that devious little proximity sensor up there. Gonna take a little... Oh, look at that. It evaporated already. Gonna pour some rubbing alcohol in a cap here. You really don't need much. Take it and sort of just pour some onto it. That marinade. So how you doing today, Paul? If you're still in the chat. I don't know. I'm assuming not. But I think it's had enough time to sit here, just sort of blow gently on it to sort of force some of that to evaporate, because there's still a little pool in there. Shake it a little. Nothing important's in there. The brains of it are right there now. Alright. So, if this wasn't a horror story to begin with, me using a metal bit to spudge up some PCB, you're gonna now see me use this metal bit to try and pry this little circuit board out of here. And just because, you know, I'm different, got it out in one piece. Sensor is nice and good. A little close up of my hand there. This camera sucks ass. I'm gonna take it gently, put it in here, sensor side up so it doesn't get scratched. That leaves top sections done. Don't need to care about this anymore. Fuck this section. Now we're gonna move on to down here, where there is a massive black piece of plastic covering everything important down here, all the good bits. So we're going to start by taking out the 50,000 black screws that are down here, put them in the iFixit lid, because I don't have a proper mat yet. Oh, there it is. It's dead. Switching to the old reliable. Takes a lot more time, but it gets done. Work your way. Doesn't matter which side you start at. Just get all of these tiny little black screws out of here, because that is what's holding down this black cover to the daughter board that we need down here. The daughter board links up to the motherboard with this fat ribbon cable down the center, and provides charging, data transfer, all through this little USB-C port. Alright, we got all of those screws out, so now all we gotta do is just gently pry up on the board. Gently prying up is a pretty big thing in this. You get the cover with your little loudspeaker. There's little contacts for it. Again, set that off to the side. See you later. Now we have another Lego style connector. You're just gonna boop, pop that up, and you're left with the daughter board, which is only secured into the chassis by plastic clips. So all it takes is a little convincing, and it pops out. Take that again. You guessed it, set it off to the side. Now, the only thing we need out of this is these little foam pads here. Not entirely sure if they're necessary. I just like to transfer them over. Never hurts. Slide the new chassis over here. Put the old one next to it. You can see this looks a lot nicer than this one. This was a cheap screen. I don't know what company made this, but shame on you. This definitely is an original. I mean, to be fair, neither is this one, but at least this one they took pride in. So, take out these little... I'm going to try to reform this one. This one's pretty badly mangled here, but just going to here to squish it into its place. Use the back end of this. Push it a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty... Honestly, that one's... Goodbye. Trash. The other ones, though, look salvageable. Just gotta be gentle with them. try one like this. Okay. One more tiny little one up here. Probably not necessary, but it's an excuse to use tweezers. Take those out. Like tongs. Just take that. Come here, you little shit. Take it out. Set it inside the new frame. Push down a little bit. Just get it into place, like that. Goodbye, tweezers. So, this little piece of tape covering the hole where the front-facing camera goes. Take that off. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put that tiny little PCB that I took out with the flathead screwdriver back into its place in the board, where you see this little blue piece of plastic that you peel off. There's some adhesive in there to hold it in. Fresh adhesive. Take that, peel it off. Adhesive is exposed. Pick up your little sensor as I just fat finger it and touch the sensor itself. Should be fine though. Yeah, it's clean. So, take this, and there is tiny little pins in there, if you can see, that will line up with the hole in the notch on the board. You take it, I like to do right side first, rock it in, and it will fall right into place every time. And then just take your tweezers, just gently push down so it sticks to the adhesive, nice and set into the chassis. So now we're gonna start reassembly. First thing I want to do after that is I want to put the ribbon cable back in. Now, there doesn't appear to be too much adhesive left on the bottom side of this ribbon cable. So what I would like to do is take off the old stuff and put on a little bit of new strips. Just something to hold it down a little better. So, gonna get those tweezers out again, fumble. I'm going to peel off the adhesive strips that are stuck to the underside of this ribbon, and it doesn't appear to be wanting to come off very well. So honestly, get a little bit here, holding the ribbon cable taut so that doesn't tear, and there we go. Peeled off that old piece of adhesive. Now we can move on. So, another professional tool coming out. We got the Gerber multi-tool with the scissors. Take that ribbon cable. I'm going to slide everything to the side here. Battery included. This needs to move elsewhere for the moment. Slide that over, give myself some more space here. And everywhere that this sits in the chassis, right here, I'm going to put new strips of adhesive so it'll stick down nice and secure. So I'm going to start this one that I've already been using. You really don't need much, it's small work here. Peel this side up a little bit. Notice I'm doing this all with tweezers because doing this with my bare hands is impossible. So, yep. Take the tweezers. Tweezers, thank you. And just gonna lay down that strip where that PCB is gonna lay down. And then I have to peel the paper layer off, which comes off nice and easy like that. Now we have the adhesive on that side exposed, and we need just a little bit less for right here. And then I'm gonna put some on the back of the volume rocker because that has no adhesion left. Less than last time, but enough to get the job done. So, get that peeled up. Take a little snip. Tweezers out again, and grip the adhesive. You know what? Just a hair less. There we go. Take that, set it down in the slot. Doesn't necessarily have to be right in the center. As long as it's there, it'll hold it in nice and securely, so that shouldn't pop out ever again. Peel the cardboard off. Now, I'm going to cut a bigger section. I'm going to do up the bottom of the volume rocker, because that is in desperate need. So, dump the adhesive strips again, and peel up more of that strip. Gonna do a good amount of it this time. That should work. Get off of there, in the way. That section off now. The larger sections are easier to handle. Don't need the tweezers for them, thankfully. And I'm just gonna stick that down to the bottom of the volume rocker. Same thing as earlier. Hey, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna leave that cardboard on there until I put the second section right here on. And I'll take both off so I don't dirty up the adhesive. Right. Forward. Down. Okay, it's all in good position now. And we take the tweezers, support the back of the very flexible ribbon cable, peel the cardboard off. Second side. Just touch the adhesive. Didn't quite ruin it. It is still sticky, thankfully. See, not everything is perfect. I fuck up sometimes. But now that we have this, first thing we're gonna do is line up these notches in the bottom. We're gonna set their flex PCBs into place, making sure that they are nice and secure. Nice and flat, smooth, set in where they should be. And then we take this, we line it up with the notches on this side. This part's a little annoying sometimes because the ribbon wants to push the main PCB forward, but if it goes all the way forward, won't line up with the notches. So this is probably the most painstaking part of this repair. There we go. Nice and lined up on those notches. Everything is stuck down. Uniform. Alright. Volume rocker and power cable is installed in the new shell. Now comes the simple parts, honestly. We're just gonna start putting boards back in the opposite order of the first one. So this is useless to us now. See you later, old. Goodbye. In the trash. Slide this back over, slide parts over, and we start reassembly. I am going to start with the daughter board, actually, and just sort of work my way up in the reverse order that I went taking it apart. Gonna fold these up, get them out of the way, and they are not gonna cooperate, because why would they? Fold this up as well. You'll notice a little blue square on this bottom ribbon cable. That's actually adhesive to stick it down so it's nice and held out of the way from the rest of the cover. So, as I said before, all the daughter board is held in by are these tiny little clips. There's one right here. There's one over here. You'll take your daughter board, sort of just set it in general, and push firmly but not too hard down, and it will click into place. Very easy. Take your black cover with your loudspeaker. Oh, wait. Hold on, I caught myself. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Need to connect this ribbon cable. If I didn't do that, we wouldn't have the almighty headphone jack or charging. So before I connect that, I'm going to take those tweezers again, and I'm going to remove, without tearing the ribbon cable, I'm going to remove that blue cover off the adhesive so I can glue everything down. There we go. Now that that blue cover is off, you'll notice a little like exposed metallic pad, but that is actually adhesive. So rock it forward, gently press it in till you hear it click like that, and press down in the center. It sticks down all nice and neat. Everything is connected. Black cover goes back in. And that just gets pushed down. You hear a couple clicks. That. Once it's all clicked in, you start putting screws back in. Now this part, specifically for me, sucks. Because handling these tiny little things, putting them back onto the screwdriver, is not the easiest. So yeah, just lost one there. It's jumping away from me. Thing down. Not over tightening, just tightening just enough so they're snug, because these are very easy to strip out. Should have had my electric screwdriver. But guess who doesn't have any micro USB cables lying around anymore? This guy. No, I should. Especially for my older stuff, but it's sort of hard to come by a quality micro USB cable anymore. They're all sort of cheap. Maybe order one on Amazon or something, but never know what you're gonna get. Like with these tablet screens, you never know what you're gonna get when you order from Amazon. Hopefully it's good. It's not always good. A few more screws here, and the bottom section's complete. Bottom section is complete and ready to go. Now we move our attention up to the top half of the tablet. So these, gently bend these ribbon cables out of the way. We already set that proximity sensor in place. Going to take our main board, all of its goodness, drop it gently after lining the camera modules up with their seats. Gently push it into place. Go. Clicks down nice and satisfying, letting you know it's in. All of that. It's in good contact where it should be. Alright. Now, we're going to take those silver screws, which thankfully I took a picture of on my phone, so I can remember where they go. I'm forgetful like that. Always good to cover every base. So you take your silver screw, there was one in this corner, secures down. There was one here, 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 and here. Oh. Taking these, screw it down. This one. Screw it down. Right. That board is nice and secured on its own now, but now we need to move to the shielding. But first, that involves putting these ribbon cables back in, making sure they're nice and seated, and then putting the battery back in with the proper adhesive. And before I put any of that shielding back on, I'm going to test it, hold the power button, make sure that that lights up, screen's not cracked, and then we move forward. So, take these actually have what appears to be a little bit of extra ribbon cable that shouldn't be on there. Just gonna pull that off, but it has adhesive covering on the wrong side, and when you pull it off, it's not sticky. So, oh well. Take these Lego style connectors, click them into place. There's one, there's two, nice and attached. You'll notice there's some bowing in that, and I'm going to commit yet another tech atrocity, and I'm just gonna squash it down with the battery. It'll set itself into a place that's comfortable. So, now that those are all set, nice and good, I'm gonna bring in a Cameo, the old battery with the already mangled up back. Got that reflection, there we go. And we are going to stick this back in. First, removing these big blue strips, exposing the adhesive for the battery. Then take the battery, and cables all sorts of bent out of shape here. Nope, that's not what you're supposed to do. Connect it. And possibly line it up. That would be glorious. There we go. Connected. Push that up so it lines up nice. And set the battery down. Push those ribbon cables down a little bit so they're comfy. Like so. Should be good to go. Take these, fold up, stick them onto the underside of the battery. Ready to go forward. Before you do anything else, flip it back over. Careful not to touch anything important. Take your guitar pick, press and hold that power button. Make sure we see a Samsung logo. We did. We saw it. There were no cracks in the screen. That's our green light. Put the tablet back down. Take that first cover. Set it into place. Like so. This one is also one that just has clips. So it's just a matter of lining them up first. And now it's set in. So we are missing a screw for this one. But I think the important part here is holding down this section right here, because that's what's holding in the ribbon cables. So somewhere else is going to be missing a screw. Screw that down. Nice and tight. Hold those cables in there. Center one. Top right. Let's do this one right here, second side of the ribbon cable holder. And our last screw go at the bottom left corner. Nice and good. Everything is where it should be, and we now have a fully assembled tablet without the back panel, which now all I gotta do, grab the back panel, line up those buttons, one last double check to make sure that they are nice and seated. Make sure the buttons on the inside fully pressed out. Take the tablet, line up the buttons. Okay. And sort of just pinch around the outside of the tablet, listening to it click all the way around until you no longer hear the click. Everything is nice and seated. Take your SIM card tray, slide it back in, and the best part, oh yeah. For now, just one last check. Hold the power button, should see the Samsung logo. There it is. So it's got a dead battery, but if I connect the charger to it, we will see. We will see. Yes. There it is. Just had to think about it a little bit. But we are good. So, with that being said, everything is nice and seated the way it should be. The screen is on. Not backlighting too bad, but these cheaper screens off of Amazon, they tend to backlight. It's not noticeable when the tablet's actually on, just noticeable when the screen is all black. But with that being said, I just want to thank anyone that watched this for watching, and I hope to do more stuff like this in the future. I sort of enjoyed doing this type of stream, but thank you all for watching.